Thread to see if anyone has heard or have seen similar events in the past week. Colorado, Front Range of the Rockies. Be me. Be at graduation party with bros and GF. GF is main character of this story. Circa 11 p.m. outside a friend's house, which is in the middle of a heavily wooded area. Hanging out with the bros. Talk, get rowdy and sexual. GF leaves in mild disgust. Boys will be boys type of reaction. A couple of minutes later, the guys leave, and I head back into the house to find GF. No GF. I go to the porch, call out for her into the woods. Silence. A couple of moments later, I hear her blood-curdling scream, and she comes running out of the darkness. Anon, I saw a little candlelight in the woods, and I followed it to see what it was, and I think I saw a bear. Me. You should never follow strange lights into the woods. You never know where they might lead. Her. But the lights were so pretty. I want to know what they are. Me. Yeah, don't. Next day, nightfall. We're in our respective homes, approximately 50 miles away. We're texting. She says, I see the floating lights again. Wait, now there's more than one. Me. Just don't leave your house, okay? Running through my head are stories of will-o-wisp and corpse candles, and a paranormal equivalent of an anglerfish. Her. But they're so lovely. I really want to know what they are. Me. Please don't follow them. It's not a good idea to get into the woods alone at night. Her. Don't worry. I'm just on my back porch watching them. I'm like, okay, just stay safe. Leave for a bit. Play them dank video games. Get a text an hour later saying basically, now that you're asleep and can't worry about me, I'm gonna investigate those lights. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Bitch, what that JPEG? Photo she took of the lights outside of her house. I start texting her, asking her what's going on, asking her to come back inside, telling her to be safe, etc. She texts me back, shitting herself, utterly scared out of her mind. Her. Anon, I chased the strange lights out into the woods and out in the darkness. I saw a huge thing that was too big to be a person, but was walking on its hind legs. Me, actively questioning what kind of woman I'm dating. Why did you go out there? That's really dangerous. And whatever you saw could be life-threatening. She's mortified and profusely apologizing for being so stupid. Later the next night, and coincidentally tonight, we're talking on the phone after I get off work, and I'm trying to get her to promise that she won't go chasing those lights again. For some reason, she becomes stubborn and won't promise that she'll stay inside that night. She's home alone, house on the edge of the woods. There's no moon, and it's snowing. She still won't fucking promise to stay inside. We get into a fight. She gets upset. Drinks a margarita. She's a lightweight, so she gets tipsy immediately. Still won't promise to stay inside. We're still arguing, and suddenly she goes quiet, whispering, Anon, the thing is outside my house right now. I can see its silhouette, and I can hear it walking. Suppressed, I told you so. JPEG. She starts losing her shit and freaking out, and I'm trying to, in the very least, keep her calm. She's literally watching something pacing outside her window. Then she sees the lights again. She decides to stop looking out the window. She stays huddled and still in her living room until enough time passes after she's seen the unknown entity. She moves to her bedroom and falls asleep. I'm left awake, researching and green texting, and somewhat bothered by the whole ordeal. What could this be? There are hundreds of strange orbs in the woods, but the details and the way she describes the lights aligns almost closely with the old Welsh and English stories of corpse candles. Without telling her my suspicions, I ask her the details of her situation, my findings. GF strange lights, small, mobile, orange, blue, and white, leading into the woods in the direction of a cemetery. Corpse candles, small, mobile, orange, blue, and white. Float around the dwelling of someone who's dying. Float back and forth from the house to the future grave. Now I'm beginning to become concerned. This may possibly explain the lights, but what about the humanoid entity outside her house? Tomorrow night I'm going over to spend that evening with her. We'll post updates if anything happens. Advice please, X? Details I forgot. Her neighbor's dogs were freaking out last night. In the fresh snow this morning, she found footprints circling her house and back porch coming from the woods. Tonight, during the I can see it outside phase, her cats were very agitated and disturbed. Hackles raised and whatnot. Investigate that shit. Get a gun. If you can't get a gun, get the sharpest and longest knife you have. Also, instead of going to her house, ask her to come to yours to be safer. If you see a humanoid entity, fight or flight. Stay safe, OP. Goddamn, dude, your girlfriend is stupid. Please let her know how absolutely moronic and dangerous it is to follow lights into the woods, no matter how pretty they are. It was very likely will-o-wisps that love to lead people to their death. I'm literally angry for you, OP. Also, everything that happens now is 100% her fault. She's stupid for not heeding your warnings, and I want you to let her know that this, even if it causes you to get into a fight over it. Also surprised she didn't get fucking wrecked the first time she followed the lights, let alone 3 goddamn times. Update. OP is not kill. Yes, GF is very stupid. Last night was uneventful. I'm visiting tonight to hang out and see what there is to see. OP is an armed K friend? Don't worry. What are you taking as far as weaponry? Shotgun or rifle, I trust? Also good luck, friend. OP's Raifu, which is just like waifu and rifle. Remington 870 Tactical. Here's hoping you don't actually need it in this situation. That's a big gun, Desu. To be fair, people calling her stupid, if it's corpse candles, she's probably dying regardless of this whole incident. They appear to people who are dying, not people they are killing. They appear inviting because they lead you to eternal peace that will envelop you soon. It's a mental phenomenon beyond control. It's possible she has cancer or some other terminal illness that has gone unnoticed. I feel incredibly sorry for her. Though the tall creature may indicate something other than a terminal illness. It may be a terminal condition of a more paranormal variety. It's possible that the tall figure and the corpse candles are actually 2 irrelevant though irrelated incidents. The tall figure is stalking her. Perhaps it kills her slowly. But it is practically guaranteed, thus the corpse candles appear to her. If that's not the explanation, I have no idea how the fuck the 2 things relate. I suggest you expand your search beyond the lights and do more research to figure out what this is. That is the real problem here. You can consider the corpse candles more of a warning than anything else. Assuming OP is not already killed. Evening all, OP here. It's been a very eventful night. Chapter 5-ish. It's definitely not corpse candles. GF might not be quite as stupid as we thought. Earlier this evening, I'm at her house. It's getting late and we're chilling/snuggling. And then, as I'm half asleep, she gets up and goes downstairs. I groggily get up and follow a few minutes later to see why she left. When I walk in, she has this aura of guilty/hiding something. I try to get her to talk, but she's insistent that I'm fine and it's nothing. Not really abnormal as anyone with a girlfriend knows. She tells me to go back upstairs and go to sleep. I'm like, whatever, and I go up and lay back down. Less than a minute later, I bolt upright because I hear a ding from the security system indicating that someone has opened the door. Hear the backsliding door slam shut. This is when shit got creepy. I rush outside and call to her, with no response. It's pitch black out, but I walk into the backyard with my flashlight. She couldn't have gone far. Through the light wind, I can hear dogs barking, normal, and something that sent Class A chills down my spine. As cliche as it sounds, I heard the voice of a child off in the distance saying, "Help!" over and over in the exact same tone every time. Not very urgent, not very loud, almost like a statement rather than an exclamation or a cry for aid. Then my GF pops up from the other side of the back porch deck and asks if I can hear the howling noise. My face when there's not only a creepy ass child's voice, but also apparently she hears howls. I get her back inside and she tells me she saw the lights again. For the next hour, I'm trying to convince her what a stupid idea following the lights is, and she just doesn't get it. She's a smart girl, good in uni, does astronomy and microbiology as hobbies. She has common sense blind spots, but she's logically sound. Nevertheless, she cannot seem to wrap her head around why chasing these lights is dangerous. She keeps insisting, I have to find out what the lights are. I have to. I'm fine with investigating, just not running blindly into the night with a bathrobe. I'm trying to convince her to investigate in an intelligent manner, but she keeps insisting the only way to find out what the lights are is to chase after them alone. Apparently the lights disappear when other people are around. Ever since she acted suspiciously. When she went downstairs by herself, she acted very strange. Not at all like she normally does. For at least an hour, I'm begging her to promise not to chase the lights when I leave. She just refuses. She'll barely respond, and eventually she's just staring, and it seems like she's unable to acknowledge me. Like her consciousness has disconnected. She finally concedes the promise. At this point, she's barely talking at all. Not normal. And she had about 4 or 5 episodes of her staring blankly and not blinking for about a minute each. You know when someone's woken suddenly and they jolt and gasp a little? Well, she was doing that out of the blank stares. But she wasn't asleep. By now I'm getting more worried and disturbed. We're both religious, so I pray for her. Atheist, I'm aware you consider me a moron. Don't waste the energy to type it. Immediately after the prayer, she starts totally responding again. I'm surprised. And I start asking her questions about what just happened because I'm still confused. It becomes apparent that she can't remember a single thing from the point when she saw the lights and the end of the prayer. She also suddenly has a splitting headache. As I recount everything, she becomes more and more horrified. She didn't know she had chased the lights outside. She had no memory of any of it. She's feeling alright now, but we're growing concerned that these lights may have an effect on one's mental state. The lights and entity are an anglerfish, and she's a mesmerized minnow. Also, I'm looking into Orthodox Catholic Church concept of demonic obsession, which is when a demon harasses someone rather than possessing them. What do? This sounds familiar. The lights and entity are an anglerfish. She's a mesmerized minnow. The entity itself may not be a lure. The voice in the darkness sure as fuck was, as are the lights, but advise getting some incendiary ammo for your shotgun. Shit from in the woods often does not appreciate fire. However, if you suspect this thing is not baryonic, but demonic/ethereal in nature, your weapons are little to no use. Beeline it straight to the nearest church, in that case with GF, and tell the pastor there everything. If you're not RPing OP, get some flat cedar and burn that the next time you see the lights or the entity. You said you pray, so do that when you light the cedar. I have no idea what this is, but the way you describe the voice makes me think it's a spirit. They all sound high-pitched like kids, and the colored orbs are what spirits often look like, usually in colors you mentioned, but red instead of orange. If you have native friends that are active in their traditions, then have a chat with them as well, but the flat cedar should do the trick. As far as I'm aware, demonic obsession is just a path to possession. You have to weaken the psyche before you take a hold of it. If it was just her seeing, hearing things, I'd say it's definitely a demon since they are metaphysical and exist in the mind. But the fact that you heard something too makes me think something else. I have no idea what. If it is a demon, and it's able to reach the both of you, that probably means it's already in something. It having a physical form is enabling it to reach out to multiple minds, but it sounds as if its physical form is weak and likely immobile. Perhaps it's been sealed away in a tree, and it keeps trying to lure your GF to the tree. If you're a courageous psychopath, you could go out into the woods and see if you could find the tree with some manner of native signs of runes on it. Or, you could just get her out of the house. If it's immobile, getting away from the woods would probably do the trick. Incendiary in the woods. That's never a good idea. And Anon earlier had the idea of the ballistic shells and gun. I'd go with that. If it can field incendiary rounds, it sure as fuck can field normal rounds, blessed or otherwise. Are you goddamn stupid? I told you this at the beginning of the thread days ago. Can you not read? Will O wisp, ignore, do not follow. Shit fucking goddamn, I literally don't have a reaction pick strong enough. Also, a more correct definition of what's going on. They are not inherently dangerous, but they have the ability to charm you into following them to something dangerous. Usually a fate portal or some shit, but apparently they can lure you to skinwalkers now. I'm not joking when I say slap some literal sense into your GF. Please. I agree, they want a full course meal instead of a light dinner. Anyways, OP, if you're still alive, I want you to know that I'm only pissed at you because I want both you and your GF to survive, and you're actively disregarding all the warnings we're giving you. It's obvious to me now that your GF is extremely weak-willed, and is put into a trance when she sees the lights. I'm gonna ask my friend for some sort of charm you can make that could help her not be so easily controlled. Hold on a few. Holy shit, holy shit. OP's actually dead, guys. I checked the news locally and there's a murder investigation going on since yesterday. This is suspicious, though to be fair, Front Range of Rockies is 80% of the state population. Plus, there's murders all the time. It's been a war zone since they legalized the weed and the reefer madness has taken over. Nah dude, you don't get it. He said he was near the Woodland Park area in this post. OP has been missing for 2 days. Now there's a death investigation going on since yesterday in Gold Camp Road, which is 20 miles from where OP said he would be as seen in my previous post, which I checked out on Google Maps. Is basically some sketchy road in the woods. This isn't a coincidence. Right now, few details are known, other than it could be a bike accident. They didn't mention anything about murder. Gold Camp Road. Lovely Colorado Anon here. Gold Camp Road is hella haunted. All sorts of stories about voices and lights in old train tunnels, and stories of, wait for it, supposed Satanists wandering around the night with torches. Oh, forgot to mention, in I think the third tunnel is the voices and laughter of children, which OP mentioned. All of this is around the area called Helen Hunt Falls, which is stupid haunted, and just down the road from Manto Springs, which brings in some sort of vortex area for New Agers. Is, you guessed it, haunted as all shit, including stories of its own personal town demon, and more weird, witchy, and unexplained murders than you can shake a stick at. Welcome to Colorado Springs. Basically, if you're wondering what's going on right now, everyone just assumes OP has died, and now they're just filling the thread with like spooky stuff in that general area. I'm here in Arvada. I live about 15 minutes away from Flatiron's mom, and let me tell you, the drive there and back at night is seriously spoopy. I have a story if you're interested. I technically live in unincorporated Jefferson County. Like, I live on Indiana Street. If you're from around here, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, me and my brother are coming home from seeing Get Out at Flatirons, and it's about 12:45 a.m. Not super late, but the road is deserted. We were just listening to 93.3, talking about guns, when like 3 or 4 deer jump out in front of my truck. I swerve and luckily missed them. We were a bit dazed and we decided to pull over and switch seats for the rest of the way home. As we're about to do this, my brother sees a human silhouette and slams the door and draws his pistol, USP-9C. We are both avid cave browsers, so we immediately think Skinwalker. I just peel out and go home like 70 miles per hour. That's it. We don't want to fuck around with shit like that. We just went home. I never drive there alone at night. I live near Morrison and I've been seeing a lot of UFOs lately. I mean, we're close to an airbase, so it's probably weird military aircraft I'm not familiar with, but weird teleporting lights and stationary aircraft that zips around in a square and doesn't seem like military stuff to me. More Colorado stories, please. Anyway, as far as what she's seeing, could be she's seeing whatever entity causes those lights normally, or it was an unrelated entity drawn to the lights. If the lights are, for your girlfriend, then it would explain how it found her house. Perhaps you should have her spend a few nights at your place, Anon. See if the sightings go away if she stays away from her home for a while. Also, you're basically dating an adult infant, dude. Might want to rethink your relationship once she's safe. Who over the age of 8 thinks, I'm gonna chase pretty lights in the dark woods alone? I'm not even from Colorado, and I know that's a stupid idea. Even if you don't believe in the paranormal, there's still fucking wild animals and maybe a crazy opportunist out there. Buy your girlfriend some mace, dude. She's too stupid to be left alone unarmed, ever. Archivist, and OP was never heard from again.